Hello. So, this is a case study on a trade that I took on Friday the 20th. So, let's get started. It actually starts all the way back here in Thursday. Wowee, Thursday morning. That is a good while back. Anyways, Thursday morning. Oh, I actually went over this in the last video, but all you need to know is there was a lot of bullish liquidity taken, and including this, look at that. London session opened by taking the SMT, but which would be prime time for a long, buying, but I didn't because I wanted to wait until there was more strength. Good thing I didn't. It was really wishy-washy. Look, bam, 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 bam. And it just went sideways. Look, sideways, down, sideways, up, sideways, 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 sideways. Okay, sideways. So instead, I now let's re-begin. Okay, so this was an inducement of this, which we can put this in as a support, maybe kinda. This is it's an inducement to be short. Not to mention, there are these lows here, not equal but really close. This is a liquidity pool down here, which is why I didn't put in the IFC actually. As you can see, it's a little bit higher because I put it below these lows. Wishy-washy up. So now here's where the fun begins. So basically, I didn't trade on this day because I was looking for some upward strength, right? We already saw that the markets were moving up here, but there wasn't enough confluences here to take a trade. So uh, I'm looking for some strength right now. Looking for some strength. Let's start here. Look at this: equal lows slash support, SMT taken, bam. As you can see here, there were inducements of these highs, but that inducement made to the equal lows and then it got taken right after. So this inducement was used to fuel the way up, and this is also an inducement. Look at that. I guess this is a resistance inducement, but that inducement was fueled to make this one. This one went up. That was taken, and also what's it called? A breakout structure. This one taken, and then we went down. Ascending trendline liquidity. Oh, another inducement. You can think of these as demand zones because we are looking for three. Because that's a good sign of strength if there's three in a row. Three in a row. One, two, three. Good news, man. Then we come over here into Asia. Look, this is something as well. Not really. Wow. Wow, we look at this. So free. Ooh, 4 touches of the support taken within Asia. Descending trendline liquidity all throughout Asia, taken right outside of it, right? The sellers are having a field day. Look at this. Resist some sort of resistance here. You can see a descending trend line here. Liquidity taken here. Oh, support. Okay, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go slower. Let's go slower. Support taken. Not an SMT because there wasn't a what's it called? Two leg. It was just taken. There's some buyer liquidity taken here. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, so at first it was really like, wow, the buyers, what? No way we go down. But like as you can see during Asia, we actually did get some what's it called, seller strength. As you can see, this support was taken within Asia. These equal lows here taken, SMT taken. Those are this resistance, this descending trend line. Okay, but look at this. Buyers, SMT, and this. Look at this equal low SMT. Oosh, that's brutal. Um, okay, wait, what am I saying? Okay, wait, let's go slow. Let's go slower. Let's go slower. I'm saying sludge. I'm saying sludge right now. We need to think about how this all ties up. Okay, back here, a lot of buyer strength. Look, two demand zones. SMT taken. Strong buyer strength. Um, We had a break of structure here on this inducement. This is an Asia high SMT, by the way. Not really, but it's like what, 5 minutes behind. It doesn't matter, bro. Yeah, like literally 10 minutes before Asia opened. That's an SMT in my eyes. In my eyes. Okay, so we had this support, but it was taken during Asia, so that means that's Asia buying, Asia buys, some sell off in Asia, sell off in Asia, Asia buys. We want more sells. There wasn't really much of that in Asia. Asia wasn't really. Asia wasn't helping us here. Not much, not much. But over here, we actually took, right after Asia, we took a lot of buyers' liquidity. So we took sellers out right after Asia. Bam. That was used to fuel the rundown to take this SMT, this Asia low SMT, which made another one, including on London Open, right? Big, lots of upward liquidity. Boom. Taken. But then we get here. I've marked this as an SMT slash demand since these equal lows. Since I mean, although they were taken here, maybe they play out in this demand. Actually, now that I think more about it, they were taken here. And because that is London Open, so that is where all the liquidity was. Okay, bam, and then we go into the demand zone made here. Strong buyers sentiment. That was a lot of downwards liquidity taken. And then over here, so over here I was like, okay, maybe sellers have a chance. But then when this downward move, right, just this downward move, I was like, okay, nah, we're buying, bro. We are buying, yo. Okay, and then we come back to the seller strength. Back to seller strength. Okay. Resistance taken, SMT, resistance taken, SMT, resistance taken, SMT. This was right before London buys, so I was thinking, wait, wow, there's some sell-off happening. We could go down. Over here, I was like half. I was like, oh, we could go down, we could go up, but I still maintained a bullish stance since we are in a 15-minute downtrend and we just made a break of structure. Look, 1, 2, bam, break of structure. I mean, that was in New York, right? But it was break of structure. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna still say bullish, although there is some seller strength. It's not perfect. We're still bullish, and not to mention this move was really strong. But over here, I was like, okay. I was actually about to just buy on this, on this inducement here because this ascending trend line was taken. But I was like, we should be more conservative since there is a lot of seller sentiment. This was a news candle, I believe. Yep, 30, that was a news candle. SMT is taken, we went down and we induced the trend line. I was kind of stuck here. I mean, not really stuck, I had two options. I could either just buy over here, wait for a 2-leg buy, or I could wait for it to come down here. That was the second option, come down into this demand zone. Okay, and then, trade based off of that. I decided, see this break of structure here, internal break of structure, and this inducement. I made a supply demand zone off of that, and I bought at the IFC candle, which put me in a trade here. Now, was this a good trade or was this a bad trade? This was not the best. It was average. It was really average. So, since it was average, I shouldn't have taken it. Should not have. Number one, look at all this seller sentiment right before. And look, we just took so much sell liquidity right here. One ascending trend line isn't gonna make it go up. Okay, like okay, all this here, right? It's like wow, the buyers are coming in, but there was also a lot of sellers as well. So it wasn't the wisest decision to just buy here. Another thing I must mention is I made a demand zone off of an internal break of structure. Not how it works, bro. Not how it works. Internal has to be a 2-leg, and the internal was anything but a 2-leg. Look at this. Bam, inducement, and then we had an internal break of structure after an inducement. That's not a 2-leg. That's weak. And anyways, I bought here. We're lucky that it. I mean, we're not lucky. I guess we're lucky. I mean, it was an average trade, so we're not that lucky that it hit break even. It's just. I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'm gonna count my blessings. Okay. We were lucky we hit break even. My break even was up here, which is also pretty bad because if you look at this right, 1, 2, 3, and the break even is right here, which is like right next to the 1, 2, 3. So anyways, so this was not a good one overall. Shouldn't have taken this. I should have instead waited for either an external breakup structure, very unlikely, or a two leg. A two leg would have been fine. A two leg would have been okay. So right now this is like a 3.8 out of 10 trade. If I had a two leg, to make it like 4.5, you know, it'd be a lot better. It'd be a lot better with a two leg, which is what I should have in this scenario. Or I could just, you know, held a position on this demand. This one, it was really strong. Could just open position on this demand. I still can actually. This is extremely strong, extremely strong. Not to mention, remember I had the SMT there? The SMT was taken on London. I should have seen this. This is not an SMT, even though, you know, equal Asia lows. Oh, equal Asia lows are right here, right? The SMT was not taken here. It was taken here on London Open. I should have marked this as the SMT, which I did, but I was kind of iffy on whether this was one as well. No, this is the SMT. Yeah. Anyways, I earned. Let's check the statements. I need for the thumbnail. Give me a minute while I check my statements, please. I earned $9.93 off of this, so I did win a little. Anyways, is there much else to say? Nah, that's it. There was a lot of buyers, but near the end, there's also a lot of sellers. Wasn't that strong. Shouldn't have taken this specific one. If there was a two leg, could have taken it. Let's see what happened though. It went down. The the inducement I was trading off of got induced again. The demand zone I was trading off of got induced. It made an external breaker structure. Wow. Wait, what? Wait, external breaker structure. This is a demand zone now. Wait, you can just buy here. Wait, let me just open a position here. Oh, but you're stopped out. Yeah. This, if it happened normally, would have been fine. But this was on news, I believe. It was GDP. Oh, it was new home sales. I guess new home sales. Didn't know maybe the market that much. New home sales, right? Which is why it's like so up and then down, and it goes straight back up again because these are news candles. If this happened more slower, because you don't want to trade because like look at this, right? Okay, no, if it moved down slower, you could have actually opened a trade on this demand zone. But since it moved, look at how it moved down. Bam, bam. You don't want any of that. That's a risk that you're taking. You want it to go down slower. This upward candle is good. That shows strength, but these downward candles, even if we had this thick upward candle, and then lower, smaller candles that went all the way down to the demand zone, you can still buy that. You can still buy that. But since they were really big, you couldn't have those. You shouldn't be doing that. However, let's say, I don't know, the Warren Buffett gave you sloppy head under the sheets, and wow, oh my god, that would have been a 10 RR trade. Would have been a beautiful one if you could put your stop loss correctly, which is I don't think is that likely. And look, it hit 10 RR in like 7 minutes. Anyways, my overall bias was correct. lesson that I should be taking is wait for an external breakup structure when you're trading off a demand zone. And if you want to see buyer strength, you must use demand zones that were created organically, not demand zones that induce previous demand zones. Those don't count. Like this one here, 1, 2, these are organic. This shows a lot of strength. And this induced SMTs, not demand zones. Okay? This one here, though, it induced a demand, induced a demand, induced a demand, induced another demand. You can't trade based off of that. If they keep inducing demand, can't trade based off of that. However, my overall sentiment was correct. Bam. Up is going sideways right now. It is Saturday. But yeah. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Oh, not to mention, I earned how much is it? How much is it? $9.93. Thank you for watching.